on behalf of India Social Center, we welcome you to our center, and we are blessed with your presence. We are privileged to have you here in this evening. And now we invite our Vice President to come and present a bouquet to Swami. I welcome you all on this occasion. In fact, Mr. Panikar, Pinaki Sarkar and Mr. Satyajit Datta, they were behind this program, and thank you very much for bringing Swami here. And I welcome Mr. Pinaki to give a brief description about Swami before starting our program. Thank you.
Namaskar. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank you all to be here in this auspicious evening. I hope you all will enjoy this evening organized by Indian Social Center in collaboration with Bengali community of Abu Dhabi. It's my pleasure that this evening to present to you Swami Ishatmananda Maharaj, who is in a short while will enlighten us on why education, why morality, and the goal of human life. I would request Shudhi to introduce Swamiji to you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Sarkar, to give me an opportunity to introduce Reverend Swami Ishatmananda Maharaj. Swami Ishatmananda, a monk of the Ramakrishna Mission, joined the Holy Monastic Order in 1975 at Ramakrishna Mission, Cherrapunji, Meghalaya. He was attached with Advaita Ashram, an English publication center of the Ramakrishna Order, for 12 years. He was bestowed with sannyasa in 1986. He worked in a very famous educational institution in the Ramakrishna Mission at Purulia, West Bengal. He is the founder secretary of the Ramakrishna Mission, Port Blair, Andaman, where he built a home for destitute and orphans from scratch. He constructed 2 huge buildings, Jnana Mandir and Karma Mandir, housing a coaching center for national level competitive exams like IS and a vocational training center. This educational and cultural center was inaugurated by Sri Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the then Honorable Prime Minister of India, on 1st of January 1999. He was the principal cum secretary of the Ramakrishna Mission School, Narottam Nagar, Tirap, Arunachal Pradesh. It is an educational institution situated inside the deep jungle of Tirap district of Arunachal Pradesh on 286 acres of land by the side of Buri Dehing, a beautiful hill river. The institution basically runs in Gurukul system with 4 English medium schools. It has a 20-bedded Swasti and a Vishwakarma Vidyalaya, that's a vocational training center. Revered Swami Ishatmananda was the Vice President of Uttar Purbanchal Ramakrishna Vivekananda Bhava Prachar Parishad, which is having around 59 centers all over Assam, Arunachal Pradesh, Meghalaya, Nagaland, and Manipur. He was also the Vice President of Tripura Ramakrishna Vivekananda Bhava Prachar Parishad. Swamiji has been designated as the Minister in charge of Vivekananda Vedanta Society, Chicago, USA. He has to his credit many articles published in journals both within the Ramakrishna Order and outside. He is a very popular speaker, and his discourses on the Bhagavad Gita in different parts of Assam are highly acclaimed. He is invited to different parts of India to speak on various topics by both governmental and non-governmental organizations. He has spoken in various seminars and conferences before students of colleges, universities, and management institutions. He also regularly conducts spiritual retreats for devotees. I now invite Swami Ishatmananda Maharaj to deliver his keynote lecture today.
सर्वस्तरतु दुर्गानि सर्वो भद्राणि पश्यतु सर्वसद्बुद्धिमाप्नोतु सर्वत्र नन्दतु हरि ओम तत्सत्. Mr. Jacob, Honorary Vice President of the Indian Social and Cultural Center, Mr. Jayachandra, Literary Secretary, and other dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, children. I am really feeling very happy to meet you all in this evening over here. It's a beautiful place, and it has a name attached to the India, and so many people they are trying to maintain the Indian culture, Indian literature, and try to enlighten our children who are growing up over here, born and brought up over here, so that they get some cultural impetus from India. Now today I am supposed to speak about why education, and I will start with a small story. Pinky, a small little girl, she got admission in a very famous school, and that was her first day to go to school. And she was getting ready, the whole household was excited. The father was taking out the car, the mother was getting ready, and all these things were going on. Pinky was also excited, and she was also very happy that she is going to school, not knowing what the school is, but since it is her first day, she was going over there. But the last moment, when she was supposed to go out, she wanted to take her pet, Bhulo, the puppy, with her. Now, obviously, the mother shouted, father frowned, and the grandpa started laughing, and Pinky got thoroughly confused. What's the matter? Every time I take Bhulo, nothing happens. Today, why people are behaving like this? Then the grandma came out and she helped her. She told, dear, today you are going to school for education, and Bhulo doesn't need education. And Pinky said, why? And this small question, of a very innocent question, and put us face to face, why the human children should need education when the others are not. So obviously, here we can understand. And let us try to imagine the day, the beginning of the creation, what was there. In that vulnerable condition, the human being was there in the beginning. The huge bodied, the nature, among that nature, how the people were behaving, our human beings were behaving. They were not having the huge body like the elephants, or the rhinos, or the dinosaurs. They were not having the jaws and paws, strong jaws and paws like the big cats. They were not having the wings also like the
Please continue, Maharaj.
They were not having the wings of the birds to help themselves. The nature has not given them anything which the nature has given to others to help themselves, to save themselves. But the nature has given a very special thing to the human being, that is the brain, that's the head that the human got. And utilizing that brain, they slowly conquered the whole universe. That is the main point. And what is education then? Then to me, education is the combination of 5 actions. First is observation. The primitive man, he was observing so many things, and he saw 2 big the branches of a tree is rubbing together, creating fire. He observed it. And then it comes discrimination. First is observation and second is discrimination. And he discriminated whether this is going to help me or not. And third is, I will request the younger people over here to remember the definition of education. The education is the combination of 5 actions putting together. And first is observation. And second is discrimination. And third is utilization. And even after that, they are not throwing away the knowledge, keeping it. And fourth is preservation. And fifth is transmission. It is being transmitted to the younger generation. So the experience that the older people they are receiving, they are giving it to the younger generation. The first observation, this is very, very important. If we are not observing properly, it becomes very difficult. Many of you, and I think most of you are knowing the story that one demon was there. He was very forceful, powerful, and he conquered the whole universe. And then afterwards, gods particularly became terrified what to do. Then they created Goddess Durga, and Goddess Durga came, and she was sitting on the top of a hill, and she was so beautiful. Then this demon, the people of the demon, they came to know about, and the demon came, and he must have observed how this lady is alone sitting over here. Then when he approached that lady, and that she said, well, I can marry you, but the only condition is you have to fight with me. And if you can defeat me, then only I will marry you, because that is the promise I have taken. That this person, his observation was wrong. He wrongly observed the Divine Mother, so powerful, and naturally he made a mistake. That if we make the observation incorrect, then our decision will be wrong. The observation, then discrimination. When the gods are afraid of me, how come this lady is challenging me? But that demon didn't do that. What he did, he challenged that lady, and what was the result? He died. So that is the thing, that we must be very, very careful about the observation. Then the discrimination comes, and third is utilization. We have to use the whole thing properly. After the utilization, that knowledge is preserved. So many knowledges we are acquiring, preserving. There's a library. They are also maintaining a library. What is this library? The knowledge preserved, so that the next generation can get it. And after the preservation, this is transmission. This the whole thing is called education. The long back, particularly I will talk about the India, there our people, they solved this problem. Then afterwards, they started thinking, what is it? They solved the problem of external world. They conquered the whole thing. They were having, as we call in Hindi, roti, kapda and makan. That problem was solved. Then afterwards, they didn't sit. Again they were thinking, Ko ayam, kutu ayata, kava gati me. Who am I? Where from have I come? Where I am going to go? This is the thought. They started thinking very seriously. And then they started observing. And where from I have come? This is the question. To get that answer, they started observing the whole world. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmana nirveda maya akata kritena. In our history, they have not written the history properly, otherwise it is unique. They are going on experimenting, whole world they were experimenting. And they were experimenting from the earth, from the tree, from the air, from the sky. Everywhere they were experimenting, they were examining, is this the place from where we have been created? From where I have come? They are saying, no, this is not the answer. Then they are going on. And all these things happen. Who are the people they were doing? The long back, they started telling themselves, suggesting themselves one mantra, Charai Beti. Go on, move on. Don't stop. The moment you stop, that very moment you are dead. One gentleman, he was traveling, and he had to go a long, long way to get some knowledge. After traveling for a long time, he got tired and started thinking, let me go back. Then the Indra came. This is the stories. And the Indra came and said, that if you are going back, there's the same road you have to follow, and already you are tired, then how can you go back? Why don't you go forward? This is the same thing you are going to do. You have to walk, you have to move, and move forward instead of going backward. And the moment you are moving forward, you are leaving. And if you are going backward, you are dead. So charai beti. This go forward, go forward, go forward. Your other people, they have done so many things. Be thankful to them. And then take up the experiences and move forward, move forward. Our people did that. And after solving all this problem of food, shelter, clothing and all these things, they were thinking that who am I? Where from I have come? The research went on. Those people who were doing the research, they are called rishis. Other people were supporting them. And they used to go to the caves, to the forest, to the very quiet place, and they used to go on pondering over the one thought, who am I, where am I have come? And by that, slowly, they understood the problem is with our mind. Because it is going out. Why it is going out? Because we have the 5 senses, sense organs. What are those 5 sense organs? Like that they discriminated, they found out Chakshu, Karna, Nashika, Jiva, Tak. The Chakshu means the eye, in Indian words you will surely understand. Karna, the ear and the nose and all like that. And it is taking our mind outside. But what are the things that they are enjoying? The Rupa, Rasa, Sabda, Sparsha and Gandha. These are the 5 objects. The 5 organs are constantly taking it back to the mind, and the mind is become so turbulent. You have to control the mind. What happened? The description is there. Kaschid dhiraha pratyar atmanamaishat avritta chakshu amritattamichan. They examined the external world, but after not getting the answer properly, they started examining themselves. When they were asking the question to the external world, what did they find? That everything is changing. Whatever we see, that everything this is changing. And if things are changing, then it is of no use. There must be something constant, static, that they wanted to find out. So they started examining themselves. They went down and they're explaining in this way, in different pages of the Upanishads. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya upihitam mukham tattam pushana pavrinu satya dharmaya drishte. Just like the scientist, when it is almost reaching to the goal, almost going out to get the result, how much excited. And these also, our rishis also, the spiritual scientist also, when it is going down, concentrated his mind, and is going to find out the truth, what happened? As if something is covered with the golden things, hiranmayena patrena, like the golden cover. So then he was praying to the sun god, remove it, I don't want this, I want to see the truth, I want to face the truth, because I am the seeker of truth. And what is that truth? The way they were explaining it. Hiranmayena patrena satyasya apihitam mukham. The face of the truth is covered with this. Please remove it. Tattam pushanna pavrinu satya dharmaya drishtaye. And after that, what happened? The moment he got the result, the moment he got the truth, and he was so excited he could not express his joy in words. He said, Ahu, 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 Ahamannam, 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 Ahamannadu, Ahamannada. Like that, he went on telling. This is so excited. After the scientific experiment, when they get the result, and what they do, they come out and shout. They will be writing, immediately they will be writing in the journals, yes, I have found it out. And you should also know, Srinantu Vishye Amritasya Putraha. After getting the truth, he was not sitting quiet. He was not just enjoying it alone. He was trying to give it. He was trying to distribute it among all. Srinantu Vishye Amritasya Putraha. This is a very special word they used, Amritasya Putra. Now we are not dead. When our body may die someday, sometime, but we are not dead. We are eternal. That is the truth they found out. Srinantu Vishye Amritasya Putraha Ae Dhamani Divyani Tastuhu Vedaha Metam Purusham Mahantam Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parasta. You have to go beyond the darkness. You have to go to the enlightened, the one. And he is enlightened. Aditya Varnam Tamasa Parasta. Tamasa means the ignorance. Beyond the ignorance, you find the truth. And what is that? He couldn't say it. He couldn't explain it. Because it is impossible to explain in words. You have to realize it yourself. You have to find it out yourself. That is the first thing that we find. Then it comes the two branches of knowledge. One gentleman who was very wealthy person, his name was Shaunaka. He came to a monk, a rishi. They were not monks, they were rishis. And they only used to go on performing this type of things, finding out the truth and all this type of researches. And he came and asked a question, Shaunaka Havai Mahashalo. So you are some of the you are very young, I don't know whether you will understand it or not, because the prosperity is essential. And afterwards comes this question. When he is coming and asking this question, Shaunaka Havai Mahashalo. Mahashalo meant well-established person. After completing his duty, he is coming and he is not satisfied. With all the wealth, he is not satisfied. And to find out that, he came and he asked a very wonderful question. Kasminnu bhagavo vigyate sarvam idam vigyatam bhavatiti. By knowing which, I can understand everything. See, that is the goal of everything. The chemistry's goal is to find out one by which all whole things. The physics is also trying to find out one matter from which everything has come out. That is the only goal. And that question was asked nearly 5,000-6,000 years before. Kasminno bhagavo vigyate. Bhagavo means the reverend one, respected one. By knowing what, I can understand everything. Sarvam idam vigyatam, whatever I see, so many varieties. But I will understand the main thing of it. Kasminno bhagavo vigyate sarvam idam vigyatam bhavatiti. Then he said, Dve vidye veditavve itiha asmaya brahmavido vadanti. He was so modest, so courteous, so gentle. He didn't say, I am telling you. No. He said, the previous people, the Brahmavida, the very knowledgeable people, they say, okay, I also know about it. And he is telling, Dve vidye veditavve, there are two branches of knowledge. Paracha eva aparacha. Now here we find out two different types of knowledge, two branches of knowledge. Aparavidya. What are the aparavidya? All external science. Whatever that we see. And there they say Rigveda, Yajurveda, Samaveda, Atharvaveda, Shiksha, Kalpo, Vyakarana, Chanda, Niruttam, Yotishamiti. That means all that knowledges. In those days there were no chemistry, physics, mathematics, so they didn't mention this. But they only, whatever they were knowing, they mentioned all these things, including Veda, the spiritual knowledge, the books that we found. That's also the Apara Vidya. But only that book won't help you. If you are reading Bhagavad Gita, if you are reading the spiritual books and religious books, it is not the religion. You have to understand the truth. You have to realize the truth. So they said, no, it is also aparavidya. Whatever the knowledge that you find, this is all aparavidya. And there is a paravidya. That means the science and then spirituality. Aparavidya means this external science. And paravidya is the spirituality. These are the two branches of knowledge. And from here, we slowly develop. And that is the reason. In India, in those days, we developed in these two branches. There the spirituality developed, at the same time wealth. That's why the whole world, they were attracted to India. They came to India to find out India. Nowadays we are going out, going to the West. We are going to America, we are going to Europe, we are going to the rich places. But in those days, they used to come to India. Why? They developed it. So this knowledge is also necessary. But what happened if we are only getting wealth, but not proper knowledge? Because knowledge is power. I always say that because the knowledge is so important, so the Hindus particularly, they developed one worship, that's called Kali worship, goddess Kali. And sometimes most of the people, they don't know the implications, what actually Kali means. It's knowledge. Through an image, they wanted to give us this thing, this knowledge. The Kali means having the garland of the shivered heads, the human skulls, having as a garland. So that is sometimes people are frightened, they misunderstand it. But the head is the symbol of knowledge, head is a symbol of intelligence. So that's why the nature and from the knowledge is coming from where? From the nature. So the goddess Kali is nature. And because the nature is unknown, there's something we know and majority of portion we don't know. So she is black. The goddess Kali is black because of this. And here we find that she is holding a head like this because take knowledge. Knowledge is power. And the human being getting the knowledge but without restraint, what will happen? It will be destructive. We have so many instances of it. After the knowledge, if we don't have the restraint, that is destructive thing. That's why what we need next. Why education? Because education is power. Only with education, the human being can survive or nothing. And education is the only weapon that the human being can use and using it for the development, for the sustaining of the humanity. But if it is not properly maintained, what will happen? It will destroy themselves. And we are developing so many bombs and we are developing so many destructive weapons. So why? Because of this. So this is the next comes morality. Why morality? Because of this. And what are the morality? Here Swami Vivekananda, before I come to that, Vivekananda said, he is the awakener of modern India. And that India, majority of you know because you have read the history, particularly the younger people sitting over here, they also must be knowing that the India, it was subjugated under the so many rulers, foreign rulers, nearly 700, 800 years. So obviously our originality was lost. And once again, a very powerful personality came, that is Swami Vivekananda. He alone shook the whole world. And through what? Through education. What type of education? Both. There's science and spirituality. Only scientific knowledge won't help. Only spiritual knowledge also won't help. We need the both. Then Swami Vivekananda said, he traveled the whole Europe and America and he saw their wealth, he saw their success. Then he started asking himself, there in his writings it is there, he started asking himself, Why these people can do and we cannot? Then the answer came, education, education, education. Education is the panacea of all evils. It can solve all the problems. And what type of education? Then he says, we want that education by which character is formed. Strength of mind is increased. The intellect is expanded, and by which one can stand on one's own feet. The three things he is mentioning. First is character is formed. That type of education is necessary. Long, long back in our education system also, what they used to do, Satyam Vada, the first thing they used to teach. Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara. Swadhyaya Apramaditavyam. In Sanskrit, Apramaditavyam, you should not deviate from your study. You must go on studying, reading, and all books, and you must get so much of information. And then afterwards, you must assimilate that education. Satyam Vada Dharmam Chara. What are the dharma? Dharma means, dharma for a student is only study. Chhatranam Uddhayanam Tapa. And I should not give my mind to this place or that place. That's called brahmacharya. What is the brahmacharya? Only concentration. So the two things are there for a human being. One is mind, another is body. And sometimes what happens in our body, because it is changing and according to the nature, there are some demands are there in the body. But we have to control that thing through our mind. Otherwise, we are failure. And that's why the first thing they say, brahmacharya. Brahmacharya means strong mind, controlling the body. The body senses is for only the animal instincts. What do the animal do? Only body, body and body and nothing else. They get the food, they are happy. And anything that they are going to do is nothing but concerned with the food, because they are concerned with the body. They have the happiness and they have the anger, they have the love, they have everything that a human being is having. They like everything they are having. Only dharmena hina pasubhi samana. They say, except the religion, human being is nothing but an animal. Except the religion. What is the religion? Control of the senses. And what are the senses again? Whatever we are collecting through our senses, 5 organs. So the first thing they say, brahmacharya. And brahmacharya is, in the beginning, a concentration and purity of mind. And this purity of mind comes from what? And there, yesterday only we met and we were discussing. This is very wonderfully they are telling. What is the prayer? The prayer, only 2-3 things they are asking to God, the Almighty, the All-Powerful. What is that prayer? So that I can see good things through my eyes. Please, God, give me this opportunity so that I can hear good things through my eyes. I can hear good words, inspiring words through my ear. And let me have a good physique, good health, so that I can translate whatever I see, I can hear, I hear into action. And that is the prayer. See, this is the wonderful thing, the unique thing that was taught long, long back in our society. Bhadram karne visrinuama devaha. Bhadram, the good things. I must hear. Millions and millions of people are there, the human. I have seen in Andaman, you have heard the name, the islands of India. The people are there in the jungle. They don't know the use of clothing. They can't cook things. They don't know. Though they are having the fire, but can't cook. They are human beings, just like us. I went to them. I wanted to have a school over there for them, the jungle school. Now, this is the thing. but they just living like animals, eating, sleeping, and one day they're dying. That's nothing else. The human life is not but that. There's something else. What is that? That is the thing first they are teaching us. That is, first is brahmacharya, that you have to control your senses. How you can control your senses? By hearing some inspiring words, good words. And then you have to go down with that, sit quietly, and you have to go on pondering over that. Why they are asking us to do it? That is very, very important. When we are young, we do not know what to do. There Swami Vivekananda is telling, character is formed. What type of education? We know so many things. Nowadays, even the small children, they know, they can handle this electronic things. We do not know that much. They can do it so nicely, they'll be doing it. Sending letters and these things, cut and paste, 2 words now they are using. Cut and paste, cut and paste. I was so wondering, what is this cut and paste? Then they said, no, the cutting means this and pasting means this. And Control C, Control D, and now I am learning. So this, at this age, I am learning Control C, Control D, cut and paste. And they know it from the beginning. So intelligent. But afterwards, what? This is very important. At our time, in our time, the seniors were there. The whole area, they used to guide us. The locality, the whole locality people, they were our guardians. Not only the father and the mother, all people, they used to guide us. This is called education. Now our small family, we do not know. Hey, hello, how, sweetie, all these things are going on, but we are not caring about the others' children. Because we are concerned with our ego. This is the difficulty. Now we have to understand, any child over here is a human child and it belongs to humanity. Anyone, anywhere, doing something mistake. Only a few minutes before we were discussing how our Indian economy is going down and those people is doing this, do that. Anyone, anywhere, any human group, if they are not developing, that effect will come to all the humanity. In Bengali, the Rabindranath Tagore is writing, Jare tumi niche phelo, she tomare ta niche paschate. If you are leaving someone behind, someday they will drag you down. There's no other way. And somewhere, some people doing something wrong and very, very dirty type of diseases is coming up. And then the whole universe, the whole humanity is affected. I didn't do anything wrong, but then I am suffered. Why? Because somebody somewhere did. So we had to go together. Here, Swami is telling the character is formed. And what is the character? This is very important word. I don't have to watch to. What's that, please? Please. The difficulty with the monks is that if they get the microphone and some audience, then they don't know how to stop. So I tried to stop. So I went to Bangladesh, the one gentleman, he's so fond of talking. He was going on talking, going on, telling so many things, he won't stop. Then somebody came from back and dragged him back. So that was the condition of the speaker. So this is the thing that really we are very, very concerned, Our days are numbered now. Someday we'll be passing away, we'll go away. But we like to see the happy society, happy people. That is exactly what the sannyasis they do, particularly in the Ramakrishna mission. What is our goal? Service to humanity. We do not go to the caves. Of course we go, we do our penance and all that, we come back. But our object is very, very peculiar, not like the other Hindu sannyasins. This is, Swami Vivekananda said, go to the humanity, tell them this. And what is that? He said, each and every one is having the special things that inside. Every human being. It's not the religion or not the language, not the caste, not the creed. Each and every one, each soul is potentially divine. Divinity is there, potentially. And what is the divinity? We always make mistakes the moment we listen about the divinity. Divinity is nothing but the love, L-O-V-E. And love means, I love you, you also love me, I'm giving you a gift, you also remember to give me back. That is not love, that is all business. The love means that without expecting anything, I'm concerned about you. That is called love. I do not know you, but still I am so much concerned about you. Because I am concerned and that divinity is coming out, that's called love. Swami Vivekananda said, my philosophy can be said in 2 sentences. To make people aware about their divinity. To make people aware their divinity and to help them to manifest it, that's all. And that is exactly what the Ramakrishna Mission people are doing. We go to the people, we do not know them, we talk to them. It's not the religion that's bothering us, not the language, not the culture. But only thing that, do you love your parents? Do you love your children? Do you love your family? Then why can't you love your neighbor? Lord Jesus said, love thy neighbor as thyself. That is called spirituality. He is not only telling that only love those who belong to your caste, your creed, your religion, your language. No. Love thy neighbor. That is the love. And we are so much concerned about the children particularly. Today we are actually planning this thing for our children. You are growing up over here. You will be everywhere in the world. You will be in different families. Afterwards, centering you, so many things will happen. And if you are good, all goodness will come to the society. So many people will be benefited. Suppose you are a good doctor, so many people will be benefited. Suppose you are a good engineer, suppose you are a good administrator, so many people will be benefited. But if you are not, then so many people may suffer because of you. That's why we are concerned. What we have to do first is our, Swami is telling, character. And what is character actually? I don't tell lies, I am not stealing. Am I a man of character? No. He's a good man. And supposed to be a good man. In the society, you are supposed to. Otherwise, foolish people is there, administration is there. And character doesn't mean that by the fear of foolish, by the fear of law, I am practicing this thing. No, it is not that. The character means the one who can say no on the face of fear, on the face of temptation. There are so many things that you are going to get. They'll be telling you, if you are doing it, and immediately I will give you all these things. And I'm not going to tell that I'm a man of character. I'm trying to be, but this type of things happen in the life of everyone. In Andaman, I developed an ashrama. Because the people from mainland, they go, they marry the local girls, and then afterwards they leave, and that is the main problem over there. The destitute children. They are not orphans, they are having their parents, but they are left by them. Then what they will happen? We wait, we collected them, the government also helped us. We started one home over there, Vivekananda home for boys. Then they started staying over there, and we have to feed them. We have to give them education. We have to do so many things, and we are not having money. We don't have the business, so what to do? Then for the donation, for the collection we are doing, and Andaman people do not know. Because they have not seen beggars, they have not seen the monks, everything is looked after by the government. Actually, this is the first time we are approaching. Will you please donate? They were wondering, why should I donate you? Who are you people? Like this. Now, suddenly one person came and he said, if you keep the 5 bags for only 2-3 nights in your ashrama, I will give you 1 bag to you. I wonder what these bags are containing. Then someone told the millions of rupees are there. And afterwards I came to know the CBI people went and there was a raid. He is a businessman and he was doing something wrong. He was reported and I was not having 10,000 even. I was having 50 hungry boys and not even the 10,000 to feed them. And I was getting the offer of so much of money. Nearly 1 crore he was offering me. I told him, I'm sorry, it's not possible for me to do it. They told him the other people are ready to accept and they may, but I cannot. So this type of examination, sometimes there will be provocations, but we have to stand. Well, I can't. It is not possible that I will break down. I should not break down. How can I stick? You need an ideal. This is the main thing. If you have an ideal inside your mind, I cannot do it. I'm a human being. I have taken the oath. I'm going to do this. This is the thing that you have to keep in your mind. I should not. But if I do it, what happened? When I was a very young boy, I was free to go over here and there. Then my mother told one very interesting thing. She told, I cannot go on policing you. I'm not going to see what you are going to do. Only thing I am expecting from my son, that no news should come to me which will make my head hang. Now that I should not expect. I am expecting whatever information will come about my son, that will make me happy and proud. There are so many temptations were there in the younger days, but constantly that words rang in my ear. I couldn't do anything wrong. It was impossible for me to do. Because the moment I am tempted, my friends are doing, but I cannot. Because if this information goes to my mother, what will happen then? What she will feel about me. So these are the ideals should be there. You listen to good words, keep one thing in as before you as an ideal, stick to it. That is character. So where somebody is making you afraid, somebody is tempting you, you say no on their faces. And then strength of mind is increased. How the strength of mind can be increased? Constantly you have to go on harping on that idea. Now I am not weak. I am very strong. So many boys will be there, girls will be there, students will be there, committing suicide after the examination. Even if you are not passing in the examination, what has happened to you? Sky is not falling. There are so many people, they are leaving without knowing even the 3 hours. What is there? Why should they break down? I have something else. There's our Swami Ranganathananda Ji Maharaj, one of the very famous monk of the Ramakrishna mission. He used to tell, in Bhagavad Gita, it is mentioning, Sri Krishna is mentioning, it's not a spiritual book. Of course, it is a spiritual book, but at the same time, it's a psychology. Urdharet atmana atmanam, na atma abhasagayet. Urdharet atmana atmanam. Try to help your mind with your mind. Nobody can help you. You have to help yourself. Urdharet atmana atmanam, na atma abhasagayet. Don't be dejected. Don't think, oh, I am of no use. Now you have some quality. Urdharet atmana atmanam na atma avasade atmaiva atmano bandhu atmaiva ritu atmana. Your mind is your friend and your mind is your enemy. The simple words are so important. If we keep in our mind, it helps us. And that is called the strength of mind is increased. And that Swamiji, he passed class 10 and he joined the Ramakrishna order. In those days, that was allowed. And then when he started meeting the educated people, he started losing the confidence. These people can speak English, they're so decent people. I'm from a village, I don't have anything. What will happen to me? I cannot do this, I cannot do that. Like that he was going on, thinking. Then suddenly he read this. Urdhre Atmana Atmanam. Then a very senior Swamiji, he was explaining, you have to help your mind and you have to rise, all these things. And then he said, well, I cannot speak English. I didn't get the opportunity to read in the English medium school. But I am a boy from a Kerala village. I can swim in the river. Can they swim with me? I have some quality.